Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie of Growfolds, and today we will be grocery store plant shopping at H-E-B in Plano, Texas. H-E-B is a local Texas grocery store that has several locations in the Houston, Dallas area, and even Austin. And today we will be going to the Plano version. And I hope you guys have liked my plant shopping video so far. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. Also following me on Instagram at Growfolds. So it is a beautiful morning at H-E-B in Plano, and we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Texas backyard right over here. That is the part where they sell plants. I love H-E-B because most of their plants are pretty much sourced out in the local Texas areas. The most of these plants are grown locally, except for a couple of Costa Farms plants. So like as you can see right over here, we've got some beautiful large ZZ plants here. These are in 14-inch planters. They are a nice size, and with ZZ plants, they're very easy to take care of. They can tolerate lower light conditions and don't really need a lot of water. I think that's the thing that kills ZZ plants is if you end up overwatering them. So I really like the fact that ZZ plants are readily available and are easy to take care of. Here is another type of palm that is in a large form for $34.97. And I really like the fact that H-E-B has a lot of plants that are very much cost effective. I would say most of the plants at H-E-B are going to be cheaper to purchase as compared to even a big box store or a local plant nursery. And you can see right over here, we've got some red banana plants. Nice looking banana plant. And the thing about banana plants are you can get the size like this at H-E-B. And oftentimes I do shop for H-E-B plants. I like the fact that again they are locally sourced, and if they are not locally sourced, for instance if they are a Costa Farm plant, you will get them for a really good price. So I haven't grown banana plants, but I've seen some people even growing them out in landscapes. And right over here we got some little bottle bush plants, a bunch of ferns. So we'll just take a look at all of these ferns right here.
All I want is some tender love from you, baby. Oh, been so long. Why you keeping me waiting? Why you keeping me waiting? All I want, the love from you, been so long. The love, all I want, the love from you, waiting.
And over here, we've got a lot of assorted succulents and cactus. This is in a 4-inch starter planter. I'm not 100% sure about the pricing, but all of these succulents, I love the fact that they have like different varieties in a starter 4-inch planter. So if you want to do like a succulent arrangement, this is a place to go to. I'm assuming that these succulents are going to be for a really nice price. So we're going to just take a look at these succulents and see what you like. Again, with succulents, they need bright light. Full sun would be best. They need warmer conditions. So I just wanted to show you guys what these look like. And then for my plant foldies, as always, and if you are new to the channel, I call my viewers plant foldies. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button and leaving comments, as well as just any insights you would have. This is a growing community, and I just love sharing the different types of plants we have. And I did want to pan over here. What I love about H-E-B is that they have a different varieties of like fertilizers and insecticidal pest control. So I have been using Fox Farm liquid fertilizer. So they've got that, as well as like the potting soil. I heard that Fox Farms actually has some really good potting soil, as well as some really nice terracotta planters here. I really do like the terracotta planters. That's one of my plant aesthetics. I like that simplicity. And you can see we've got a bunch of palms right over here as well. Large sizes for $34.97, which is not a bad price at all. As well as look at how large these gorgeous looking red banana plants are. We just want to go ahead and admire the foliage as the lights hit. can see they haven't even unpacked these, but these are some Fatsa japonicas or Japanese Aralias, something that I would like to grow indoors. And look at this right here. So I've never seen these 5-inch starter planters of different types of house plants. So this isn't a Costa Farms plant. I'm not 100% sure, but look at this right here. Philodendron silver sword in a 5-inch starter planter. All of these plants are actually for $6, which I think is an amazing price, especially for a philodendron silver sword. So this is one plant that I definitely want to purchase today. Now with philodendron silver sword, this type of philodendron requires some type of moss pole or some type of trellis to grow on, and that's when you'll see the maximum size of the leaves grow, as well as this philodendron rojo Congo for $6. Love HEB for such good prices. So that's the thing, we often go to big box stores to check out pricing for that, but not only do big box stores offer good pricing, I would say grocery stores like HEB have some really good price. So if you're going to a grocery store and your intent is obviously to go grocery store shopping, definitely check out the plant area. So in this video I'm going to be visiting a lot of grocery stores to show you how cost effective the prices are. Look at this alocasia, the dwarf Amazonica right here. This is for $6 as well. I haven't really grown a lot of alocasias, but the ones that I currently have been doing very well. Again, with alocasias, you want to make sure you're giving them bright indirect light. Do not overwater them. They are a little bit more spider mite prone, so that means you need to give them higher levels of humidity. Having a humidifier near a bunch of alocasias will kind of solve that. And then you can see right here, Ficus elastica burgundy in a 5-inch starter planter. This is not bad at all, again for $6. And Ficus elastica plants or rubber tree plants grow very quickly. They are vigorous growers. They do require a lot of bright indirect light. And speaking of some other bright indirect lights, if you see crotons as well, those are plants that need a lot of bright indirect light. But I did want to pan over here again and show you the red banana plants. Really nice looking plant. I've never grown any type of banana plants indoors or even in my landscape. So plant folies or anybody watching the live premiere chats, please leave some comments or leave it in the chat to see what the plant care is. But let's just look at all of these gorgeous plants. I see some Costa Farms releases. Just really excited to share some of the plants here. And this is actually very beautiful as well. I'm going to pick up this plant. This is a peperomia obtusifolia variegata, or peperomia golden gate. Look at how gorgeous the variegation is on this plant. With peperomias, they are easy to care for plants. I've added 2 peperomias to my plant collection. This will be the 3rd one. Now with peperomias, again, they need bright indirect light. Do not overwater them, but they're fairly easy to grow. And look at this Bonnie spider plant for $6. Now with the Bonnie spider plant, these are really cool because they do shoot out little babies. And we've got another Tradescanthia right over here. This is the Wandering Jew version. The typical one you will see with the purple undersides. Some people use this plant as actually ground cover in landscapes. I will say that with Tradescanthia, you need to make sure that you're pinching it back and actually cutting it back in order for it to not get leggy. They are easy to propagate. And over here, we've got another Sansevieria for $6. Look at all of these baby pups that they have from these Sansevieria. You can actually buy this plant and probably separate it into 5 different snake plants. So you'll get a good value, and it is only for $6 for that plant. Same thing with this peperomia. Not 100% sure what the actual peperomia ID is for this one. But again, with peperomias, they do have a succulent feature to them. If you touch their leaves, they're a little bit more rubbery. So I would think that with peperomias, you definitely don't want to overwater them. And we're going to look at some more philodendron silver swords. So with the philodendron silver sword, as it grows up a pole or attaches itself to a plank, the leaves will get larger. They'll actually become more like arrowhead shape. So definitely take a look at that. I do love the silver foliage. And then we've got some sago palms right here. These are for $9.97 in 6-inch starter planters by Costa Farms. Never really grown a sago palm. I know my parents out in North Houston have grown sago palms and actually put it in the ground, and it's still thriving. It's actually gotten very large. And we've got a bunch of hanging baskets, exotic Angels by Costa Farms for $19.97. So it is a little bit cheaper than going to like Home Depot or even Walmart for these. Normally they're like $20.98. I'm not sure what this plant ID is here, but what I will say is it's nice and full, super healthy, and I really like it. You know, I'm focusing more so on the indoor tropical plants, but what I love about HEB as well is they have a lot of Texas native plants or plants that can really grow in a Texas landscape. And right over here, we've got a Chester fern for $19.97, a hanging basket. This one is also another Costa Farms release. Again, with ferns, I don't know too much about them. I'm not sure if some ferns actually can tolerate lower humidity, but I did want to show you this. Look at this gorgeous looking Hoya carnosa crimson princess for $19.97. Now, for my Hoya heads or those that love Hoyas, I am trying my very best to get you guys some more Hoya content, but it looks like most stores, unless they are in online shopping or a local nursery, have more Hoyas. I will say the Hoya carnosa crimson princess, nice looking Hoya. The more bright light you give it, the better variegation you'll get. You'll get some more pinks, and you'll even sun stress it. The term sun stressing is actually flooding a plant with a lot of like bright indirect light to where it doesn't burn the leaves, but it definitely gives it a different color. And Hoyas are notorious for that. I am starting to get into Hoyas. Mine are doing well. Hoyas need a lot of bright light. Just remember that. And right over here, we've got some more hanging baskets. Let me take this one down. We can see that this is a nice looking plant. Not 100% sure about what the plant ID is, but you know, those types of plants I'm not as interested in with the smaller foliage, but you know, it might be, you know, not every plant is going to appeal to us, but I want to pan over here and show you these plants. I did want to show you this purple pleasure plant. I've never seen this before, and when I looked at the plant ID, it says it's a collector's plant, so I'm not sure if this is uncommon or rare. What I do like about it is it reminds me of oak ivy, just the shape of the leaves. Beautiful looking plant. I'm not sure what the plant care tips are, but I love the velvety leaves, and in the purple undertones also give it a lot more interest for foliage. But it does say it's a collector's plant, so not sure if this is a rare plant. If it is, let me know in the comments. And then plant foldies, if you know more about it, definitely leave some, you know, chat in the live premiere chat. And I did want to say thank you to everybody who continues to join our 1 hour live premiere chats. If you're new to the channel and watching this live and haven't said hi, please feel free to say hello. We are a super welcoming group. There's a bunch of regulars, and I think that that's what separates a lot of our plant content, is just that interaction in our community that we're consistently growing. So for those that are watching this live, or if you aren't watching these live, you know, definitely leave a comment, you know, let us know what you thought about the video, but also saying hello to all of our plant foldies on the live premiere chats. I typically am on the live premiere chats. Ask me any question. I will do my best to answer your questions. And you can see here, lots of calatheas for $9.97. That is not a bad price at all for a Costa Farm 6-inch planter. I don't know this plant ID for this specific calathea. It's actually my first time ever seeing it. So if you know this calathea plant ID, please let me know. I would love to know what that is. And you know, with calatheas, I've been on this thing about buying calatheas and converting them to hydroponics, which is basically growing them in straight water, you know, taking all of the soil out, really cleaning up the roots and putting them in like a nice, beautiful, simple bowl just to display it. I've had really good success with them. And you can see we have a Milky Way cast iron plant. Don't really know the plant care tips for cast iron plant, and if it's more of like a plant that you grow outdoors, I'm not 100% sure. But we've got some, you know, cute looking ponytail palms right here, and just more plants. This is another gorgeous looking peperomia, and You know, this is the classic house plant. When you think about the plant that you start off with, it's usually a golden pothos or an epipremnum aureum golden pothos. Really like that as well. It's one of those plants that is introduced to somebody, and that's how you start your plant journey. Now, if you are watching this video, let me know if a pothos plant has been your first like house plant, how that went for you. What I like about pothos are they're easy to propagate, they're easy to take care of, and they bring somebody a lot of joy. And I think that's a lot of times what we need in terms of plants. You know, we collect plants, but if they end up adding more chores or stress to you, then we need to really reevaluate what types of plants we have or the amount of plants we get. Right over here, we've got an Aglaonema white rain, gorgeous looking Aglaonema. If you are new to this channel, you already know that I love Aglaonemas. For all of my regulars, you know, I just collect Aglaonemas. That's for $24.97 in a 14-inch starter planter. Not a bad price at all. And we've got some Dracaena marginatas right next to it, but you could see, look at that variegation, and it looks like this one is blooming. Now, if you have Aglaonemas that have blooms, be sure to snip off the blooms as soon as possible. They tend to stun the growth of a plant, actually with any Aroids or any plants that have blooms, unless it's really meant to flower. Get rid of the blooms because there's more energy put into producing blooms versus like growing the foliage, and that's pretty much why we grow the house plant. And I'm just gonna pan over here and show you some more of these plants. And over here, we're just going to take a look at a bunch of succulents and cactus. I don't have the plant IDs here, so I'm just going to pan over and show you what these look like. I love succulents and cactus, just the way they look. There's so many varieties of them, but you know, all of these are actually Costa Farms releases as well for $9.97. So if you are looking for cactus or succulents, HEB is a place to go, especially for the varieties that they have. They have smaller varieties, big varieties. With all cactus and succulents, they really do require a lot of light, so just make sure that you are providing them with that. And then we've got some aloe vera plants here for $3.97. Lots of medicinal benefits for aloe vera. I remember growing those as a child, and then we just have a bunch of hanging baskets right over here. I'm not sure what this particular plant is. Again, I don't have the plant ID, so if you know the plant ID, definitely let me know. These are for $19.97. So you know, HEB has some really good pricing for plants, and you guys know this is a Hedera helix, or you know, the correct way to pronounce it is Hedera helix or English ivy. This one is called the design ivy, so I'm not sure if that's really the name of this particular ivy. I do see some subtle variegation, and you know, with Hedera helix or Hedera helix, I love them. I talk about them all the time. I just can't grow them to save my life, although the last two English ivies that I've put in my collection are doing very well for me. No spider mites or anything like that, so we will cross our fingers to see if I can grow them. And then I'm just going to show you guys more assorted succulents and cactus. Feel free to leave timestamps in the comments or even in the live premiere chats if you know the specific plant IDs, but I'm just going to show you these. And you know, the smaller cactus right here, I believe are for a little bit less than $9.97, but these ones in the 6-inch planters are for $9.97. So we'll take a look at these. Now that we're done looking at the succulents and cactus, and they had such a good variety, like these ones for $2.97, we're gonna look at this Belgian waffle plant. So it looks like Costa Farms has sent some exotic angel plants to HEB, and I really like that just because they do have a variety. Now the Belgian waffle plant is one of the waffle plants I am wanting to get. So, you know, with HEB, they actually sell their exotic angel plants for the cheapest price that you can possibly get. I believe they're for $3.97 versus the $4.98 at Walmart and the $5.98 or the 5 something for like Lowe's and Home Depot. Now these Belgian waffle plants look to be a little bit crispy, so I'm not sure if waffle plants in general just need more humidity, but my Snow White waffle plant hasn't been doing very well. It started to crisp up. My purple waffle plant is doing just fine, so I don't know if it's just more of a hardier version. And you can see right here we've got some purple waffle plant. Love the dark foliage on it. It has been an easy to care for plant for me. Now with waffle plants, you want to make sure that you are giving them quite a bit of water. They are a pretty thirsty plant, so just making sure that they need that, as well as some pretty good humidity as well. You can see this is another pretty purple waffle plant. And then we're going to be looking at this black rabbit's foot fern. Thank you to the Plantfoldy, the viewer that gave me some insights about the black rabbit's foot fern. It seems like this fern particularly will be an easier fern to take care of. So I will eventually get one of these as well. I may end up actually getting it at this HEB at some point. And then we've got some more Rex begonias right over here. Look at how gorgeous the Rex begonia is. I like that there are different types of like foliage interest. So you can see the undersides have that really intense veining, that red veining. And then the top also has a different type of color. Rex begonias, the thing that you have to realize with Rex begonias is you never want to get their leaves or their stems wet. They will end up rotting and then crisping up and dying. So right over here, we are looking at a ruby red Photonia. I mean, this is a Photonia we see often, and I didn't realize that this Photonia actually has that green outlining on the edges of the leaves. That's really cool. And we've got a lemon button fern. What a nice looking fern this is. I really like the shape of the leaves, and it looks like this has some aerial roots coming out as well. Now these are all for $3.97. These are really cheaper exotic angel starter plants. I really like that. And obviously we always will look at a Croton gold dust. Whenever I do my plant shopping videos, I like to show this particular Croton just because it has a nice looking variegation. I love that the yellow looks like somebody splattered a bunch of paint on it. I mean, actually most Crotons look like that. This one is a Croton burning bush, for instance. Now with Crotons, they are really more for the outdoor landscape or in a planter. They require a lot of light. They don't like to be overwatered as well. And here is another Tradescanthia or inch plant by Costa Farms. And you can see in the background, they've got some planters here, more hanging baskets available. I do love the fact that the Texas backyard section of HEB has a lot of our plant supplies. It's really nice to see that, you know, a grocery store has it. And you can see this is another waffle plant here in a hanging basket. Now their hanging baskets are for $14.97, the smaller ones, as compared to like Lowe's, Home Depot, or even Walmart, where it's like in the $16 range. So again, HEB has some really nice plants for cheaper prices. So definitely, if you are in the state of Texas, check out your HEB store. Let me know in the comments what plant finds you find. It's really interesting to see what plants that we find at different locations. I know that when I went to Houston, there were some, you know, plants that I saw at Lowe's that's not necessarily offered in the North Dallas area, which is where I'm based at. And right over here, we've got a dogtail cactus. So I did want to tell the viewer that gave me the insights, thank you so much for correcting me. So with dogtail cactus, they really don't want to be in like direct sunlight or of that nature. It is a tropical cactus, so they would require more bright indirect light versus full sun. And then here is a Belgian waffle plant in a hanging basket. This is one that I would actually buy just because it's definitely a fuller plant. It doesn't have as much crisping on it. And look at that pink variegation on the waffle plant. That's really what I am more interested in, is just the fact that, you know, it's got some really cool variegation. Anything that is pink, cream, white, all of that interests me. I really like that type of variegation. And those plants are a little bit more sensitive. And with the Belgian waffle plant, it definitely needs bright indirect light, but it definitely doesn't want to dry out completely. They're almost like Phytonias. And then over here, not sure what this particular hanging basket is, just because the plant ID or little tag is missing. But it is kind of nice to have different textures of plants. So this one has more delicate foliage, smaller foliage. These are the plants though that I don't really have in my plant collection. I tend to like plants that have a little bit more robust leaves, bigger leaves, but there is a plant for everybody. And here we've got a Ficus pumila, variegated. Look at this right here. This needs medium light. I would say it needs bright indirect light if it's a ficus plant. With ficus plants, they tend to just require a lot of light, but they also like consistency. So if you have any type of ficus plant, you want to make sure you're consistent with the watering requirements. You don't want to move it around a lot. And check this out. Wow, we are finding another Snow Queen Pothos, or Epipremnum aureum Snow Queen Pothos. And this is at a local grocery store in Texas. I was able to discover that at a Home Depot out in Huntsville, Texas. But it's so nice to see that Costa Farms is releasing the Snow Queen Pothos. The reason why I know this is Snow Queen is because it is not labeled as a marble queen, and you can see the variegation is a lot higher in terms of it's not a cream variegation. It's really white. Now with the Snow Queen Pothos, it is a slower growing pothos just because there's not as much green, so you don't get as much chlorophyll. But can you imagine growing that? And you can see right here, I'm going to pan over to the Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen Pothos totems. These ones are actually the plants that are inside the grocery store. So I wanted to pan over and show you these, and you can tell that these are the Marble Queen Pothos because there's less white variegation. It's got more green and like cream variegation. Now growing pothos on a totem pole or something of that nature encourages the leaves to get larger and even fenestrate. But you can see all of these gorgeous looking Marble Queen pothos totems are available. I do like that they have stakes as well. And these are easy to care for plants. I would say if you want an alternative for like a Monstera albo, grow a pothos like a Marble Queen pothos or even a Snow Queen pothos on a pole. The leaves will get large and potentially fenestrate kind of like a Monstera. And you can see here, this is, most of the plants that are indoors, especially at grocery stores, are really meant for like floral arrangements. So they've got different arrangements. Look at how gorgeous that Syngonium is. And this is, we got pothos and Syngonium in a basket for $49.99. It is a little bit pricey. I would just end up buying like maybe one of the Syngoniums or the pothos separately and not pay a hefty amount, but they're in like gift baskets. But look at how healthy these Syngoniums look and how lush they are. I am starting to get back into Syngoniums. They may end up being my favorite plant. Like look at how dark the foliage is on that one. I would say that's a Syngonium Maria or potentially a Syngonium Plum Illusion, something of that nature. But Syngoniums, all you need to remember is Syngoniums need bright indirect light so they don't get leggy. Do not underwater them because that's when they start getting pests. They start to like really weaken in terms of like their health, and you'll be good to go. Here we've got some hydrangea. So somebody suggested, since I have a tough time growing hydrangeas in the my outdoor space, to try to grow them in pots or a planter. So I may consider doing that. Hydrangeas are absolutely gorgeous. I just really wish I could grow them in my Japanese garden. And then we've got a bunch of chrysanthemums right over here. So I did want to pan over indoors, but I wanted to focus more on the outdoor section, the plants that are outside of the HEB lot. You can see they've got some more hanging baskets here. They've got some perennials. Look at those leaves, the dark foliage leaves. Love that purple undertone as well. And just, it's a nice day to really look at plants. I'm glad that these ones are only for $14.97. So like not a bad price at all for a hanging basket of perennials. Not 100% sure what the plant is. And you can see right next to it are some geraniums, also for $14.97. I like this particular geranium because if you look specifically at the green leaves, they've got like a little gradation of like a darker pattern as well. But yeah, geraniums, I don't really like the smell of geraniums, but you know, they do very well in bright light, full sun. And then this one is for $16.97, another type of flowering plant here. So HEB, what's exciting is all of these plants are actually grown from the Blanco County, Texas. So these are locally sourced. And I might consider getting this Coleus hanging basket here. This one is only for $8.97. A huge hanging basket, you know, a 10-inch planter hanging basket full of Coleus. So I will be growing a lot more Coleus. I'm thinking about propagating a bunch. I may actually update a short video of my grandmother showing her Coleus collection. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that, just a 1-minute clip of her. She has some amazing plants, especially Coleus plants. She was able to like propagate a bunch of them. So let me know, plant foldies, if you want to see that in the comments or even in the live premiere chats. But you can see there are just a lot more plants here. We're going to look at this right here. All of these ferns are for $13.97. These full lush hanging baskets of fern. And we're going to walk over here. So they've got some more plants for $3.97. They've got some mandevilla flowering plants for $16.97. These are Costa Farms releases. Not a bad price at all, especially since it's in a 10-inch planter. Look at how gorgeous those blooms are. I don't have any mandevilla in my collection. I try not to grow tropical plants, except tropical blooming plants, except for hibiscus, just because I know that I have to overwinter them. But we also have a bunch of starters. So when I got here, these were super full. And as soon as they rolled out this rack, a bunch of people were buying like pepper plants. They have different types of like starter vegetable plants here. These are all for $1.57, much cheaper than what you would buy at like another place where they would be like at least $3. So I like that, and I like the fact that again, all of these starter planters like these shishio peppers, which I'm going to end up buying, have been sourced out from Texas. They've been grown out in Texas, so it's always nice to support local for sure. HEB does an amazing job doing that. And then all of these flowering plants are for $4.50 in these quart size planters. Love some marigolds right here. I'm thinking about growing marigolds from seed because I want to be able to like make marigold tea. It's really good for your eyesight and just to get some more a boost of beta carotene. But you can see they've got a lot of flowers, and look at these hanging baskets of like impatiens and wax begonia for $8.97, as well as petunias. I'm actually going to walk over here and show you. These are for $8.97, these wax begonias. So in my previous video, I've actually bought a couple of wax begonia that I'm wanting to grow indoors, but I will grow outdoors for now. And then I am definitely going to buy this Coleus right here for $8.97. Look at how gorgeous this Coleus is. In the Philippines, which is where my family and myself are from, they call them Mayana plants. But look at that. Look at that variegation, the colors of it. And I could literally chop this up and have multiple cuttings to propagate. Coleus plants are easy to propagate in water. You can actually just stick a Coleus cutting into soil and it will root. And the thing about Coleus is, in order for it to not get leggy, you do want to pinch back and actually cut it, so that way it'll promote more shoots. So I am definitely going to buy this Coleus plant. Didn't expect to have some really nice hanging baskets of Coleus for such a good price. $8.97 is definitely not a bad price at all. And I am going to buy that, as well as that hanging basket of wax begonia. So you can see they've got more hanging baskets here. They've got some shrubs, and I wanted to show you this. I definitely want to eventually get some camellia plants, but look at this fig tree right here. That is another plant that I was wanting to get, is to grow some figs. I think that'd be awesome. This is more of the dwarf variety. And then we have some more mandevilla trellis plants also available for purchase. So, you know, these plants are not bad at all. $24.97 for that fig tree, and then also that trellis plant of mandevilla. And you can see they got some cool looking planters, some soil. So not only can you go to HEB and buy locally sourced groceries, it is a huge grocery store. You can get a lot of your plant supplies and also native Texas plants, or plants that can grow in the hot Texas weather. You know, Texas in general has very unpredictable weather. You know, we experience a lot of that, and you really want to make sure you have hardy plants. I wanted to walk back inside of the backyard Texas area and show you these Dracaenas by Costa Farms. You know, Dracaenas, I say this in every video, are underrated plants. Typically people just see them in more like office settings, but you know, grow those in your houseplant collection. And I just wanted to pan out and show you guys the rest of the plants we have here and my basket of plants that I'm going to purchase. And you can see they've got large plants here, like these Dracaena marginatas, love that. And then all of the red banana plants, all of these 6-inch starter planters, calatheas, assorted cactus and succulents, a really good deal. And this is going to be one particular location that I'm going to be shopping at. You can see my shopping basket full of plants. I got those Coleus plants, and I am going to eventually get some Rex begonia here when they get a fresh shipment. These ones are a little bit crispy, but this is where I'm going to buy my plants. I ended up buying the Philodendron silver sword as well as that peperomia obtusifolia. So really exciting to be able to get some plants that are not expensive at all, or at least a really good price. Highly recommend HEB as another place to go purchase plants, and even planters and plant supplies, fertilizer as well. The Fox Farm liquid fertilizers are going to do very well for your plants. And I did want to take a little bit of a break. So after, you know, going to HEB here, I want to go pan out. Look at how large this grocery store is and all of the plants they have available. I will be visiting multiple grocery stores today, but before I do that, I wanted to pan out and show you Jollibee. So Jollibee is located off of Preston Road in Plano, Texas. This is a Filipino fast food chain that is very popular for its chicken joy or fried chicken. So I wanted to just pan out over there just because I am Filipino, and I was going to go ahead and get me an order for lunch, because whenever you are spending your day off filming like plant videos, you want to make sure that you are well fed. At least I need to make sure that I'm eating lunch and not just going all over. And you can see there's a bunch of orders, and what I ordered is a bucket of chicken joy, 10-piece with the gravy, and some ube pie. So ube is a dessert, and after eating lunch, I went ahead and went over to Whole Foods Market, which is just up the road off of Preston Road in Plano, Texas. So Whole Foods is another grocery store that I like to go to because they do have quite a bit of plants, and then their plants are also locally sourced, and they show you where they actually source the plants. So I think that's cool. So as you walk up to Whole Foods, they've got a whole section with a bunch of pallets of, you know, organic, and I say keyword organic, starter plants for vegetables. These ones right over here are for $12.99. So if you don't want to start from seed, you can see that you can get some organic squash over here. I actually like the coloration of the leaves, and for $12.99 that is not bad at all if you don't want to start them from seed. And these are organically grown. So they've got some tomatoes here, so if you want some organic tomato starters, you can go ahead and get one of these. These ones are already blooming, so they're ready to go, and you can see right here they've got some tomatoes starting to ripen up. I definitely want to grow some tomatoes as well this year, just because I want to get some green tomatoes. Fried green tomatoes are so good. And you can see right here they've got a serrano pepper. I might actually buy some actual vegetable plants or starter vegetable plants from Whole Foods. They've got a good selection, and one plant that I thought about getting but I didn't want to spend $12.99 on is actually getting the eggplant that they have, because it was like a white eggplant. So the white eggplant would be really cool. These ones are for also $12.99. You can see there's already a bloom there, but white eggplants, you don't often see that, and I should have bought this one. I may come back for it. It's by Burpee, and this is again organic starter. So if you want something that is organic, you definitely want to go to like Whole Foods and check it out. And then you've got some more starter plants right over here. They've got some peppers. you know, it is that time of the season. We are on day 13 into spring. Spring is 75 days, so you've got plenty of time to grow a bunch of plants before it gets really hot in the summer. At least in Texas, you have to really be mindful about what plants you have outdoors. And then they've got some organic herbs and 4-inch planters, 2 for $5, so they're $2.50 a piece. Assorted herbs. I don't really grow a lot of herbs, but the 2 herbs I would grow are basil, because I like the smell of basil and adding them into like my pastas and spaghetti, and then also getting the Thai sweet basil. I think those are also good as well. Again, these are plants that I should have probably bought, like this Thai basil right over here. The Thai basil is actually easier to grow than the actual basil, and it's a little bit more fragrant. Definitely would be good to add to some of my cooking, but you can see right off the bat, Whole Foods has some good selections. They've got some firewood here, and I'm going to walk over here because it looks like they got some more flowering plants and some tropical plants. So they've got assorted petunias here for $9.99. That's not bad at all. Love me some petunias. I like the look of petunias, and what's really interesting is there's so many hybrids of petunias. They've got bigger petunias, miniature petunias. That's something that's interesting. And then they also have some dianthus gallon plants for $11.99. I have never really paid attention to that flowering plant until this year, until I started doing like plant shopping videos, but these plant flowers look really nice as well. I like that purple maroon foliage. I mean, not foliage, but blooms. And then over in that back corner right over there are a bunch of mandevilla flowers, blooming flowers, and these are for $19.99. They've got some mandevilla on a trellis right over here as well. You can see that it's really wrapped around, so that would be so cool to see once it starts to bloom. Again, with flowering tropical plants, I don't really grow a lot of them. I do have one hibiscus that I'm growing. It's a variegated hibiscus called Salsa Dancer. I ended up buying at H-E-B in Frisco, Texas, but I'm going to pan over here. You can see they've got a bunch of ferns. I don't know what it is about ferns, but they just are readily available as much as they are like with bromeliads, and what else do they have? Yeah, bromeliads and ferns are often seen, and we're going to see in this grocery store. So obviously their plants are going to be in the floral section. So they've got some petite bouquets here for $10.99. But I did want to show you this. Super cool to see a bunch of kalanchoe right over here. These are definitely nice looking kalanchoe, and these are also locally sourced, grown in Texas. So I like that a lot. Look at that orange kalanchoe. I don't really see orange kalanchoe often. They've got red kalanchoe, orange kalanchoe, and yellow kalanchoe, as well as pink and white kalanchoes. These flowering ones aren't succulents though, so please remember that kalanchoe are succulents. They do require a lot of bright indirect light, or full sun could even grow these kalanchoe. But once the blooms disappear, you just want to make sure to deadhead them or cut the blooms off, and then they will eventually rebloom. At least that's what another viewer of mine or subscriber told me in the comments. So I really like that. But yeah, we definitely want to go Texan. You know, all of these kalanchoes are locally sourced, so we can just take a look at how gorgeous these blooms are. These are only for $4.99. That is not a bad price at all. And as we turn around, you see that there are a bunch of Philodendrons orchids right over here. Look at how gorgeous and healthy the orchids are. And I remember visiting this home, this Whole Foods area. I remember getting to meet Michelle, who actually is in charge of like taking care of the plants. And I remember her actually watering these orchids. Now with orchids, you don't want to overwater them. You want to make sure that you do soak their roots, let them drain completely, and wait for their substrate to completely dry. So maybe water them once every 3 weeks, just because orchids are epiphytes, which means they attach to like tree bark and just trees in general. So a lot of times their roots are just exposed. The one way to kill an orchid obviously is to overwater it. Now if you are going to grow orchid in a substrate, you don't want to really keep it in like sphagnum moss. Sometimes they are grown in sphagnum moss. You want to go ahead and repot them in orchid bark mix, either the coarse or the bulky ones. And you can see they've got different sizes, different colors. Look at how gorgeous these Philodendrons orchids are. Look at the veining on that one. And look at that as well. I love the yellow one, and then this purple one as well. Look at that veining. So we're just gonna sit there and admire and look at these gorgeous looking orchids. Me, I would say Whole Foods definitely has some of the most healthy looking Philodendrons orchids I've seen. I do like this whole setup. They've got different sizes. They got the smaller ones for $13.99, the medium sized ones for $29.99, and then the larger sizes for $39.99. I think that these prices are fair considering that they're in nice ceramic planters, and look at the health. I really like these particular orchids right over here, the white ones with the yellow middle. And then we're going to look at some of the plants here. So they don't have nearly as many house plants. Right now they are selling a bunch of bulb flowering plants for $6.99. So you've got some daffodils right over here. Gorgeous looking daffodils. We've got some tulips right over here. Some of them aren't in bloom yet, so that's good. I would actually buy ones that don't have a lot of bloom yet. And then we've got some hyacinths right over here. These hyacinths haven't started to bloom yet. And then they've got some more flowering plants here, some chrysanthemums, but I do like these plants right here. So this is a epiphyllum shark fin, nice looking one right here. I do like these ceramic planters. I think they are like $9.99. And the last time I visited, they actually had more selection. But here is a healthy looking peperomia obtusifolia variegata or golden gate. Look at that variegation. And again, with peperomias, they just remind me of succulents when you touch their leaves, especially the obtusifolia versions. They're rubbery and thick, just kind of like succulents. So you want to make sure that you are giving them a lot of bright indirect light. You don't want to overwater them as well. And then what other plants do we have here? It looks like they've got some more peperomia. They've got some chrysanthemums here, nice looking chrysanthemums. Gotta love that. I love them. In Japan, they call them kiku, and they actually have chrysanthemum festivals here. But all of these plants, these ceramic planters, are for $10.99. So this is my first time ever seeing a peperomia leapfrog. I was actually tempted to buy this, and I wanted to show you the plant ID for it. You can follow, it looks like they source them out from a particular nursery, and you can follow them on social media. But what I like about the peperomia leapfrog is it is just a green plant, but I love the red stems on it, and then also just the veining of the plant. It's got a matte finish. It's one that I think you could easily propagate. I just didn't want to spend $10.99 for it, but this is a peperomia I haven't really ever seen at any big box stores, local grocery stores. So let me know in the comments, plant foldies, if you think that this peperomia leapfrog is gorgeous. Would you grow it in your plant collection? I may come back for this maybe in a week or two if it's available. It's probably not, just because it's such a good, gorgeous looking peperomia. I am surprised that I saw that, but that is really cool. And then this right over here is the tradescantia, but I noticed that this tradescantia is actually blooming, and it's a little bit more compact. I really like that a lot. It almost reminds me of the Proven Winners release, tradescantia Feeling Flirty, how the leaves are a little bit smaller. I like the fact that it is a little bit more compact, and I've never really seen a tradescantia blooming like this. Now my tradescantia Nanook is blooming, but the ones for this one right here is really nice. Love the white variegation, the white striping on this tradescantia. It's another plant that I was actually tempted to buy. So do you see how easy it is whenever you go plant shopping? and you actually like discover new plants, how easy it is to just like want to buy it. But I will pan out over here and show you that there isn't that many plants, but the plants they have at, especially grocery stores, I just think the presentation of the plants, the health of the plants tends to be better at grocery stores as compared to like a big box store. I think it's because they treat their plants as if it's floral, so they want to make sure that they're fresh and full, just kind of like produce. So that's really cool. And then I wanted to show you this. So this is another Tradescanthia. This is that white version again. But notice how this one has larger leaves as compared to that one. Which one would you pick? I would pick the more smaller, compact one, just because Tradescanthia have the potential to get leggy. Again, you want to make sure that you're trimming it back to promote more like sprouts and growth. And they are easy to propagate. You can literally take a cutting, put it in water, 2 to 3 days later, it will grow. And then like, look at this. Who would have thought you would find a Hoya splash at a Whole Foods grocery store? Really like that a lot. Again, this is for $10.99. Look at how shiny the leaves are, how healthy this Hoya is. So, for my plant foldies who love Hoyas, I swear I'm trying my very best to like show you guys Hoyas. They just tend to be a little bit more rare to find at a big box store or even a grocery store. Now, if you look at online plant shopping or local plant nurseries, yes, you will see a little bit more diversity in Hoyas. And I wanted to show you this right here. What a gorgeous looking peperomia Jenny or Guinea it is. I have this particular peperomia. What I like about this peperomia is, do you see the pink edges or the pink borders around the plant? I think that is so cool, and I obviously love just that cream variegation as well. And if you put all three peperomia, the obtusifolia variegata plus the peperomia leapfrog, that is awesome. So I have the 2 of the peperomias. I just need to get the peperomia leapfrog. But again, I don't know if I really want to spend $10.99. Now, if it was like in the $8 range or even less, I would buy these in a heartbeat. And you can see that's all really the plants that they have. And then they obviously have some flowering plants. Look at this cute looking succulent arrangement here. Not a bad looking succulent arrangement. And then they've got some more blooming bulb plants here. Hyacinths, oh my gosh, they smell so fragrant. Look at this pink hyacinth. They remind me of Animal Crossing New Horizons. So if you have a Nintendo Switch or play video games, you know what I mean. You can grow hyacinths on your island, and pink hyacinths are actually ones that you have to hybridize. But anyways, the last destination we're going to go to is right across the street from Whole Foods, is Trader Joe's off of Preston Road in Plano, Texas. So we're still grocery store plant shopping. And in here, they've got a little section with some plants. Look at these anthuriums. And these anthuriums are huge for $12.99. They are in 6-inch planters. Look at how gorgeous this is. Love that white anthurium bloom. So I didn't intend to buy plants at Trader Joe's, but Trader Joe's probably has the best pricing for plants. Normally this anthurium this size would be like $24 at Walmart, and that's actually not a bad price at all. But $12.99 is insane. So I'm definitely gonna buy the white anthurium blooms. If they had some other interesting ones, I would probably buy more. But here is the typical red ones as well. Like, I wouldn't mind getting the typical red ones, but right now I've got a unique looking black bloom one that I bought at Home Depot for $18.98, but $12.99 is not a bad price at all. And these roots are going to be stunning to look at in a hydroponic situation. So I did want to show you that. I'm going to pick which white anthurium bloom I'm gonna get, but I also love the fact that these anthuriums have such gorgeous looking leaves. I love the shape of it, that arrow shape of the leaves, and obviously the blooms, but really nice surprise to find them for $12.99. Trader Joe's is another plant that I think, grocery store that you definitely want to check out. Like, look at these oxalis plants or shamrock plants for $4.99. And St. Patty's Day is coming this Sunday, so definitely have a bunch of those. And then as I walk inside, they've got some more plants here. They've got some assorted bulb plants for $5.99, some Callia lilies for $5.99. That is not a bad price at all, considering how large the plant is already. And I want to show you this one right here. Look at how gorgeous these dark blooms are for these Callia lilies. $5.99 is not a bad price at all. I always wonder how Trader Joe's tends to get like these plants sourced and how they're able to sell them for such a good price. Look at these hyacinths in a glass vase, for instance, for $3.99. Not a bad looking one as well. So like if you like hydroponic situations, you definitely want to go ahead and buy one of these from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's always has a bunch of plants, and from when I talk to the actual staff, they say that they get plants in daily, like they get trucks in every day. So your plants are always going to be fresh and full, and for the most part, all of the plants I've seen at Trader Joe's are always healthy. So super exciting about that. I really like all of that. Look at this right here. We've got some more oxalis plants. That is one that I've actually seen grown as ground cover in Texas. So that's really cool. And they always come back as well. And then look at this interesting cyclamen plant. This is for $7.99. This one has some really nice foliage. Look at the heart-shaped leaves, but look at that variegation as well. And obviously the bloom is nice. Now, for cyclamen, I'm not 100% sure if they can grow indoors long term. I've asked this question before, so plant folies, or for any viewers watching this, give me your insights and commentary on like cyclamens. What do you think about them? Can they grow indoors for you? Have you ever grown them indoors? And wow, look at how cute these little bunny planters are. This is a Tradescanthia nanuk, and this is for $5.99. Look at that. That is super cool, and I think that's cute. What I like about Trader Joe's, again, is they have a really good way of remaining seasonally relevant in terms of their plants, their planters, even the product that they sell. I am a huge Trader Joe's fan, and you will see why. The one particular plant that I'm a huge fan of at Trader Joe's would be their Ficus elastica, or their rubber tree plant. I'm going to definitely show you why, but $5.99 for all of these assorted plants right here. They've got this really cool looking one. So there's several Monstera deliciosa seedlings here. You could probably get about 3 or 4 of them and separate them out and have a bunch of plants. And these are only for $5.99. I really like the planter, the bunny planter. I think that's super cute. So for those who like to decorate or like to have, unique looking planters, again, Trader Joe's is awesome. Such cute looking bunny planters. Definitely a fan, and they have easy to care for plants. Like they've got some Palea plants, some spider plants. I saw a peperomia as well, and then they've got some muscari plants for $11.99 in terracotta planters. And look at these calanchoe as well in these small planters. But look at the details of the ceramic planter. Really like that pattern, floral pattern. They kind of remind me of some like Asian vases, but that's not a bad looking, cute little setup. And then obviously Trader Joe's is also known for having a bunch of assorted succulents and cactus. So I did want to show you that. Look at that flowering cactus right over here. Super cute. And I do like the planters, very minimalistic right here. And then they've got some lit hops here for $4.99, or what you call living stones. They've got a bunch of them here, and then they can actually bloom. I don't really like the fact that they've got glued rocks though, as like the top cover for the soil. I think that they should have just left it as is, but you can see they've got a bunch of cute looking cactus. And in all of these assorted foliage plants, these large ones for like, I think 5.5 inch planters. Look at these syngoniums, only $7.99. Look at how large this is. I was actually tempted to buy this one today as well, because I want to boost up my syngonium collection. They've got some croton petras here. They've got some dracaenas. And again, they've got, these are all for $7.99. That is not a bad price at all. And these plants are super healthy. They've got a huge looking bird's nest fern here. So I like that a lot. I would say Trader Joe's, again, lives up to the grocery plant prices of being a little bit more cost effective and cheaper. Look at that. Should I get the syngonium? I'm not sure, but I at least know that Trader Joe's carries a bunch of lush syngonium. That would be so cool to get. And then obviously bird's nest fern. So if I'm going to get a larger one, I would do that. And then they've got some more anthuriums right over here, blooming anthuriums. Look at that white bloom. So stunning. So excited to be able to get another anthurium added into my collection. And look at these, $12.99 for these jumbo ficus elastica plants. So they've got the burgundy, they've got the taniki, and the ruby. And look at how highly variegated this ficus elastica taniki is. I love how gorgeous this is. Like, I mean, look at how highly variegated it is. Definitely better than some of the ficus elastica tanikis I've seen. I will definitely buy a ficus elastica taniki from Trader Joe's. Look at that. Look at that pink variegation as it comes in unfurls. But I definitely want to buy this. This is what I'm more interested in getting today, this ficus elastica ruby, because look at how variegated and how ruby-esque this ficus elastica ruby is. For $12.99 you get 2 plants, and this would be something that I would love to grow large. Look at how gorgeous the ficus variegation is on this ficus ruby. I mean, the taniki and ruby at Trader Joe's is amazing. So hopefully you guys are liking this little quick grocery plant shopping video. I'll have some more available for you. If as always, please make sure you are hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. And my plant folies, thanks again for watching this live premiere with me. I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Bye.